I'm here, a little harried, but I'm here. How's everybody doing? Happy Monday. I am rushing to get this back online, and I appreciate y'all tuning in as I continue to struggle through the Song of Solomon. But tonight, the struggle really was getting home in time to actually put a stream in. We had softball practice tonight, and while I would have been home in time to start the stream on time, we instead went to Sonic for a bit. Got my son one of those pretzel twists he loves so much, and maybe I got myself a burger. So scarfed that down, tucked him in, fired up the stream. We're gonna be talking about some songs of Solomon tonight. We're gonna get into the second chapter and see what it has to do with us. Go ahead and get into a brief introduction to the show. How's it going? Name's Stuart Davis. I'm the host of this channel, Flawed Man of God. Not a pastor, biblical scholar, and haven't been to seminary. Not trying to get you to join my church or donate to any special cause. Just here to talk about God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. Talk about all sorts of Christian topics and stuff. Read the Bible to you, and have a good old time doing it. Want to hear input from you guys. I want to hear input from folks who are new to the faith, who are just entering into the idea of believing. I want to be here to give you encouragement for you folks to continue that journey, and let you guys know that we're all rooting for you. You guys have a place. There's a place for you guys if you choose to accept Christ. Okay. But you gotta make that effort to do so. You gotta believe. It's not just going to be, something that's given to you if you don't have any faith in it. And I don't want to give people the wrong impression and say, "Oh no, everybody's getting in." Not everybody's getting in, unfortunately, because a lot of people are going to not accept Christ. So please, by all means, stick around, hang out with us, ask questions if you want. We have a great group of folks who are normally in the chat, but since this is off time and I haven't streamed in a couple of nights, they might be a little slow getting in. But Nico's in the chat. Nico's great. We'll see who else is up here, and yeah. And if nobody else is here, hey, it's a perfect time for you to come in. You guys drive the show as much as I do. I want to hear from you guys on what y'all have to say, and not just the new folks, the folks who are well into their faith, folks who are smarter than me. This is very much an amateur stream. This is very much me, reading the Bible and myself reacting to it, but also want to hear reactions from you guys. That's why we do it live. Also because I don't want to be scripted. I want to be off the cuff. And I want this to be very casual. And that's how we play it. So by all means, get in there and let loose with any comments. Appreciate it. And if you like what you see, like and subscribe. Keep coming back. I love seeing familiar faces. It's very much like a Sunday school or a Wednesday night study group. It's very small group oriented. So with that said, hopefully everybody's Monday is okay. Hopefully everybody's, I say that okay because it is Monday. People don't have a grand Monday. Like I said, hopefully your weekend went well. Mine had mixed emotions. I had a birthday party that I went to, that I was hosting, and I had a funeral to attend for a family member. So, praise for birthdays, and prayers. Lift up dearly departed and the family left behind. Yeah. That said, I haven't seen Matt Felty. He was in here last week, but my streaming hasn't been consistent either. I need to get back into that consistency. That's another reason why I wanted to make sure I stream tonight, because I won't be able to stream tomorrow, and maybe not Thursday either. I don't know. So streaming's been spotty. Next week, I've got a lot going on. I'm probably not going to be able to stream at all that next week. We'll see. Maybe Thursday. Maybe. But we'll see how everything goes. So I want to get this in here. I like it when I like it when I'm streaming more consistently, but it's been tough. Now, we're entering softball season, so that means Mondays are going to be hit and miss. Bad pun. Mondays are going to be hit and miss, just based on the schedule, which we haven't seen yet. But on nights that I'm on early games, I should still be streaming. Late games, there will not be a stream. But you guys have been playing. We've been doing this for enough years now that y'all know the drill on that. And luckily, soccer practices for my son are going to be on Fridays, so we're not going to have any other type of interruptions for things. And with that said, I appreciate you guys. Always appreciate you guys tuning in. Always appreciate your words and your thoughts and everything that you share, and your patience, because this is a very amateur stream. It's a hobby of mine. It's kind of a mission point for me. And fortunately, it has not driven me to try to post coal and appeal to the lowest common denominator just to get attention, which is what I've been just unfortunately seeing a lot of over the past few months. I don't mind grifting for attention generally, but when it has to do for the faith, I think that's very degrading. I feel that cheapens what we're doing. And generally, I think those folks who do that are not good actors, and they're poor banner carriers for the faith. Not that they are sinful, because we're all sinful. It's because they seem to be doing it for attention. A lot of times they don't know what they're talking about. They don't even know what their own group believes in. They just take the talking points. They know what gets a reaction out of people, and they just post that, and that's all they talk about. And you can't get anything more than, more of a response out of that than just what a pamphlet does. So there we are with that. So let's get into reading tonight. Nico, hope I've been well as well. Yeah, things are okay, and every day is a blessing. It's something when I pray to God about is, how do I live a life as blessed as I do? I certainly don't deserve it, but God has continued to bless me, and I'm very thankful for that. I know that there are better people than me out there that deserve these blessings more than I do. Thad, welcome to the stream, by the way. All right, so we're going to get into Song of Solomon, chapter 2. We're going to read what we've kind of seen with Song of Solomon and what we've read about it. It's supposed to be a ongoing story in poetic form, I guess. And maybe we should, since that's the case, we read from Amplified last time. Let's go over to King James. And see if that flows better because it was a little. Let's do New King James. There you go. Amplified, which is great when you're reading most of the text, but when it gets kind of flowery, like we saw in Psalms, King James really just shines through because it just seems to have that type of syntax to it that it matches up well. And so we'll try reading that tonight, and I don't even have it pulled up. Let's do that. Boom. There we go. There we go. All right. Anyway, so like I was saying, it's kind of a love story, and we'll go back to the footnote at Song of Solomon 1 that they said, some theologians believe Song of Solomon to be a collection of songs, but it is more generally understood to be a sort of drama or lyric poem celebrating the wholesomeness of a growing love that leads to maturity in marriage. The ancient rabbis understood it as allegory of the relationship between God and Israel and viewed the details as symbolic. And if you read into it, it's pretty much what it is. So, this has been a bit weird. I'm not doing voices. I'm not a voice actor. That's why I'm not singing. I didn't sing the Psalms. But it does get a little, what some might find risque. Anyway, so let's get into it. A country girl in a palace. I am the rose of Sharon and the lily of the valleys. Like a lily among thorns, so is my love among the daughters. Like an apple tree among the trees. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I forgot how this reads. So the bride's admiration. So we're talking from the bride's perspective, and we're seeing that on the amplified side. I am the rose of Sharon and the lily of the valleys. Then the bridegroom says, like a lily among thorns, so is my love among the daughters. The Shulamite bride. So this is like the princess bride. So this is what we, like an apple tree. So this is the bride again, actually. Like an apple tree among the trees of the woods, so is my beloved among the sons. I sat down in his shade with great delight, and his fruit was sweet to my taste. And then the Shulamite to the daughters of Israel, or to the daughters of Jerusalem. He brought me to the banqueting house, and his banner over me was love. Sustain me with cakes of raisins, refresh me with apples, for I am lovesick. His left hand is under my head, and his right hand embraces me. I charge you, O daughters of Jerusalem, by the gazelles or by the does of the field, do not stir up or awaken love until it pleases. The beloved's request. So we get back to the bridegroom. Wait. Okay, never mind. This breaks it down different. Oh. Oh wait, Shulamite bride. This is just the Shulamite. So this is the bridegroom. Maybe. This is hard. This is a hard book so far to get through. You're sorry for being late? I just started this 20 minutes ago. All fans of legitimate tournaments and not rigged events are still howling after last night. What's going on, Beartax? Good seeing you. I am struggling through Song of Solomon. and to read it, not to read it, but to read it in a point where you're actually breaking it down and understanding who's talking at what point. And the different this is the first time I've really run into an issue where the different translations are confusing when put side by side. So we've got amplified. Oh, okay. Never mind. This isn't broken down. All right. This is very hard. So again, I appreciate your parents. Wish there was a color coded version for who's who. That would be a better way to handle this. And maybe somebody could send a recommendation to Bible Gateway about this. So let's go back to 4. What is being said? So this is what we're seeing. All right. So we've got the bride's admiration. So we have the bridegroom and the beloved. And he's talking, let's just break it down this way. Like a lily, like the lily among the thorns, so are you, my darling, among the maidens. Saying like, so it's basically the complimenting. You go, how beautiful you are. And the Shulamite bride, or the Shulamite in 3, like an apple tree among the trees of the woods, so is my beloved among the sons. Okay, I'm picking it up better. So is my beloved among the sons. I sat down in his shade with great delight, and his fruit was sweet to my taste. Again, we're seeing a back and forth of, descriptions of love, right? Then she turns to the daughters of Jerusalem. He brought me to the banqueting house, and his banner over me was love. Sustained me with cakes of raisins, refreshed me with apples, for I am lovesick. His hand is underneath my head, and his right hand embraces me. Talking about, being courted, being loved on, being given things that makes her feel secure, provided for. I mean, she's she's being treated like a princess, right? And the way that you romanticize courtship, if any of you folks have ever been through that before, maybe with your wives, since we're it's Nico, Veritax, and Thad here. The way we picture, the the idealistic, spending time with your spouse, and you're giving them, and they're you're just showering gifts on them. You're you're showering affection on them. Giving them food to eat. Because look, women like to eat. It's just like the Weird Al parody. Girls just want to have lunch. Girls like to eat, and they like good tasting things. So then that's kind of what she's talking about. She's like, man, this guy's, giving me a lot of attention, and he's giving me a lot of things that are very good. Fairtex said, "Oh wait, brought me to his banqueting table. Isn't that a verse from his banner over me is love? You telling me they took verses from this book of children's songs?" Well, hey, it's biblical. So, and then it's like his left hand is under my head, and his right hand embraces me. Right, so it's just, again, feeling loved, feeling secure, feeling as if you know she's the only one in the world for this guy. Then it doesn't say it here, but the Amplified says it. The bridegroom then says, "I charge you, O daughters of Jerusalem, by the gazelles or by the does of the field, do not stir up or awaken love until it pleases." All right. So don't bother her. I don't think it really matters in context if it's the bridegroom or the bride who says that, because it's addressing Jerusalem. All right, so then we get to 8, and it's staggered on here, so that's what was throwing me off. I wasn't paying attention to the verse, which I should have been. Lily among the thorns is not about beauty, it's about character. We can get to that in a second. So the bride then says, "The voice of my beloved, behold, he comes, leaping upon the mountains, skipping upon the hills. My beloved is like a gazelle or a young stag. Behold, he stands behind our wall. He is looking through the windows, gazing through the lattice. My beloved spoke, and he said to me, Rise up, my love, my fair one, and come away. For lo, the winter is past, and the rain is over and gone. The flowers appear on the earth. The time of singing has come, and the voice of the turtle dove is heard in our land. The fig tree puts forth her green figs, and the vine with the tender grapes give a good smell. Rise up, my love, my fair one, and come away. Oh, my dove, okay, we'll stop there. We'll stop there. She wants a sugar high. She misses her. She misses her love. This is awful. I'm telling you, this might be the most awkward 8 chapters to read live. And again, just like some of the Psalms, I am terrible at poetry, at interpreting it, at breaking it down. This is not my strength. It is very much a weakness. So while we're going through this, by all means, raise your hand and say something. I don't know, because this is very like you said, it's very much allegory. It's very much symbolic, and I am too blunt to be able to figure out one over the other. Let's continue reading it, and then I'll look up some other interpretations of this just to see if it makes sense. Then the bridegroom says, "Oh, my dove, in the clefts of the rock, in the secret places of the cliff, let me see your face, let me hear your voice, for your voice is sweet and your face is lovely. Her brothers, catch thus the foxes, the little foxes that spoil the vines, for our vines have tender grapes." And the Shulamite says, "My beloved is mine, and I am his. He feeds his flock among the lilies." And then to the groom, she says, "Until the day breaks and the shadows flee away, turn, my beloved, and be like a gazelle or a young stag upon the mountains of Bether," which is separation, I guess. I don't know. But I will say this: if this is supposed to be, if Song of Solomon is supposed to be an arc that we are, like almost like a story arc that we're going through the maturing or the maturation of love between, between two people or between God and his people. what we're seeing here, we're looking at a lot of, at the beginning, we're seeing a lot of affection, a lot in courtship, kind of like what when we were in the first chapter. We're also seeing references to spring, the beginning, how new things are, how you're waking up, you're being awakened to love, and so it feels like so many metaphors. Yeah, this is why I'm thrown away. This is why I'm tripped up on this. Um, what was I saying? Oh, sorry, Veritex. I got distracted by your comment. But we're seeing, this is very, to me, that makes it makes sense that we're talking about something new, the new feeling, like when a relationship is very new and everything is kind of an adventure. You're finding new things out and about your partner, and that is it's exciting and a joy. And certainly, uh, at least with me and my wife, it was very much like that. Even though we had known each other for a while before we started dating, but when we first met, we kind of there was talk of dating and everything, and it was very new in the relationship. Um, Nico is saying some metaphors might be more time specific. Perhaps, yeah. I have a feeling there's a lot of idioms in here, but maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. Let's see what we can find out on it. I'm sorry, Stu. I do not believe mountains here literally means Blue Ridge. All right. Where is this coming from? An AI generated answer. Here, let's not do AI generated answers. Got questions. I like got questions. I know they're Catholic based, but I mean they do a good job. All right. All right. Oh wait, this is the whole thing. The summary of the Song of Solomon. No, I don't want that. I want chapter 2, daggone it. Bible Hub. Here we go. All right. How's it going, Jenny? All right, we're talking about Song of Solomon 2, uh, the love story, right? And we just read through it, and now we're trying to figure out what it means. So this is one summary that's coming from BibleHub.com. Song of Solomon 2 offers a rich tapestry of love, longing, and the splendor of nature. We've read that. Through the exchange between the lover and the beloved, we see a powerful metaphor for divine love. Just as the lovers yearn for each other, so do our souls yearn for spiritual union and fulfillment. This chapter reminds us of the importance of nurturing our relationships, valuing timing in love, and recognizing the obstacles that may challenge our commitments. Verses 1 through 2, the beloved's humility and the lover's admiration. The beloved compares herself to the plain and common rose of Sharon and the lily of the valleys, displaying her humility, which I never would have picked up on because I did not understand that. In response, the lover elevates her above all others, comparing her to a lily among thorns. Like Veritex says, part of lifting her up, but not just in beauty, but in character. Now, I will say, having read that, that is something that you can consider with Israel. That Israel was this one nation of God in an area that was dominated with awful pagan worship, demon worship, and doing unspeakable things. As bad as Israel was and had been, it was nowhere near, apparently, well, it would get there sometimes, but it was not as bad as the people that they had ejected out of the land of Canaan to become Israel. So I think that that's kind of appropriate, considering where or what Israel represented. Verses 3-7, the beloved's admiration and longing. The beloved reciprocates the lover's admiration, comparing him to an apple tree among other trees, expressing her desire to be with him. She speaks of his banner over her being love, conveying a sense of protection, ownership, and commitment. She urges the daughters of Jerusalem not to awaken love before it so desires, suggesting the importance of timing in love. I read this whole book a few nights ago. It was absolutely life. Hey, by the way, what's up, Yex? I know I tweeted at you today. It is lovely. However, like I said earlier, I'm a blunt object. This stuff is sometimes absolutely lost on me. So, Yex, maybe you've got much more of a flair for understanding and appreciating this than I do. And like I said, I get that this is supposed to be a love story between God and God and us, or God and Jerusalem, kind of in this context, but breaking it down and parsing it down is a struggle. And y'all are going to hear me say that. I'm going to be a broken record on that, and I'm going to apologize now for doing so. Past, present, and future. Between Christ and the soul, and or him and the church, yeah. Because a lot of times when you do that, it's like, yeah, this is a little bit more romantic than I view this, but there is deep love for Christ. When you think of, because I look at it more as the parent perspective of how I look at my kids is how, God looks at us. But again, when we think, but that's me. It's the difficulty of navigating the Trinity sometimes, because it is a mystery to me, like it is to us. But that's kind of God the Father, right? When we think of Jesus, and the church is his bride, and there is more of a that kind of implies more of a romantic sense to it. It's hard for me to have that mindset. That's, I guess, and I would say that's wholly my failing. But your feelings towards the Almighty to be one of deep reverence and love and joy, right? Because this is not, there's a holiness and there's a respect and there's an awe and there's a weight of who God is, who God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit is, or however you want to put it. And that is huge, right? What he is as a being. But at the same time, we are creatures that he created out of love. and we are he made us in his image. There is affection, there is love, and there is a relationship. And I know that that's a lot of people think that that's cringe, but we're not talking about a relationship of salvation. This is once you've accepted God as your Lord and Savior, there is a sort of relationship that goes along with that. And Yex says, I used to see it more that way in the past, but as I've grown with him, I'm starting to see the aspect of him being the intimate knower of my soul, so to speak. I like that. It's taken a while and a lot of prayer. It is infinite. Infinite. It is infinite, but intimate. What you said, intimate. Because he does know everything about us better than we know ourselves, inside and out, and that is a deeply, deeply personal thing. Something that you would think that only that even really goes deeper than that, but you have surpassed even what soulmates would have. I just don't think of it in a romantic sense. But there's more to love than just romance. And again, I may just be too dense to understand it for what it is, even at the level that I'm expected to. But the importance of timing and love, I don't understand the importance, where they're driving at with importance of timing and love, because when we're talking about love for God, right? Is this about a coming of age thing, or if, once you understand who God is? I would like to see that, broken down a little bit. All right. Verses 8 through 14, the lover calls to the beloved using vibrant nature metaphors like leaping over mountains and gazelles on the hills. He invites her to join him, expressing that winter has passed and spring has come. He calls her from the clefts of the rocks and hiding places, indicating a desire to overcome the separation and obstacles in their relationship. Ooh, I like this. All right, OSB seems the Septuagint prefers to translate that phrase as "don't wake my love," as in the bridegroom before his time. Makes sense if you consider the bride to be Israel. Yeah, because we're still dealing with prophecy and promises. Winter is past, no longer cold and alone. Yeah, we're reading. Yeah, again, a lot of springtime metaphors. A lot of the beginning of this. You are not by yourself anymore. You are not dead, as winter is often associated with. This is a time of life, love, new beginnings. It said the clefts of the rocks and the hiding places indicating a desire to overcome separation and obstacles in their relationship. And certainly we all know about obstacles and separation in our relationship to God. And that's sin and our own priorities, our own shortcomings, wanting to get past that. And not just us wanting to get past that, but Christ wanting to get past that. Yeah. Please remember, Jesus got on that cross. We didn't beg him to get up there. We sent him there. But, we didn't beg him to go up there to save our souls. We begged him not to do it The disciples wanted him not to do it because they didn't want him to die. Mary and the rest of whatever followers were left outside of the disciples felt the same way. But Jesus knew what was necessary. He came and even before that, he came to earth. He was born. He lived here. He came to us from heaven. And you can see it through his works, his miracles, his words, everything about his presence here that the scriptures say, beyond what we could even write down, was overcoming those separation and obstacles. And it's kind of us, the damsel in distress. Oh, save me. Him coming to the rescue. Yex said he knows the most deformed and grotesque aspects of me, and he has never looked at me in shame or disgust, only in compassion. Maybe pity, maybe disappointment, who knows? But always with a sense of love, always with a sense of, the words escape me. Sense of wanting us to overcome what we can with his guidance. Yex continues, I feel that intimate longing that my soul feels for the Lord, and the most painful moments are when I feel he isn't with me. I resonate with this book. She's yeah, Yex with the meme. She's literally me. I like it. These are good, Yex. I really enjoy this breakdown from you. And we're getting through that to the pain of separation, right? But I like there are times where I just want Jesus's presence. I just need you with me right now. I am feeling insecure. I'm feeling alone. I'm feeling like a failure, etc. And when that feeling hits you, it is like an embrace. At least for me, very much like an embrace. All right, last verses. The chapter ends with the beloved acknowledging small problems, the little foxes that can ruin their vineyards, love, and expressing the pain of separation. She requests the lover to return, comparing him to a gazelle or a young stag, symbolizing his vitality and desirability. Song of Solomon 2, a chapter of the Bible's poetic and beautiful Song of Songs, is a profound exploration of divine and human love. The chapter uses a dialogical structure where the two main characters, the beloved and the lover, express their affection, longing, and the beauty they see in each other. While this chapter presents an unabashed celebration of romantic love, many readers have also found deep spiritual meaning within its verses. I hope Solomon read this to his women, because they probably would have ate this up and convert. Who knows? Like maybe if he'd have written this sooner or read it to them sooner, they would have stopped idolizing all those pagans, and maybe he wouldn't, or all those pagan demons, and he wouldn't have been tempted into. He wouldn't have been tempted into doing the things that he did, but Solomon made those choices, I think, because of the wisdom he had also led him into a feeling of hedonism. and that's a shame. But he made his peace with God, I believe, and wrote certainly wrote warnings to us, then using kind of his own um, experiences as an example of what to avoid. And I think that's also a lot of Ecclesiastes too. Is kind of that you kind of feel that with him. Look, I've been down this road. I've done these things. So that's what we're seeing in Song of Solomon, chapter 2. Gosh, I wish I understood this better. With 700 wives, he would not have had the time. You get them all in an assembly. It seems the church historically agreed with you. Ecclesiastes is typically believed to take place after during the time he was printed. I would say I agree with the church because that's where I heard that. And looking at him, I mean, when you read it, it's definitely a man who and the older I get, the more I feel like this is when I was your age. It's me going, look, I've been here. And our understanding of who Solomon was, as going from a rising star leader of Israel to kind of debauched, hedonistic man, to kind of the going back to the wise man who not just wants to help people out, but help people out by telling them to learn from his mistakes. And that's, I love Solomon so much. This is why I like Solomon as well. Because Solomon might have the most proudest moment in the Bible from man, not from God or Jesus, obviously, but from man. You have him just saying, these are your people, God. How do I need to know what I need to lead them. And then being given that gift, pleasing God. Imagine this God playing, I am so pleased with you right now. I am so happy with you. The feeling of that must have been amazing. But going from that and going from who he was when he was young and women were coming to him and leaders were coming to him, and he was, everything he did turned to gold. He knew so much about everything. Everybody loved him, and he loved the ladies. And that ultimately being part of his downfall, the idea of, and maybe that was just the fact that he was wise and he knew so much, but then he was bored and decided he just needed to do these things. And then later on going, how foolish of me to do this. But at the same time, I made mistakes here, but I didn't here. And I want you to remember to enjoy the life that God has given you, because this is a gift. And now I'm going back to Ecclesiastes, and I should be because I'm in Song of Solomon, but it's the same guy, right? And so that's the perspective that you're getting here. Solomon had so much profound love and adoration for God, even though he fell into something a lot of us do, and you go through that period where God, but you ignore it because you're chasing after your own desires. I've done it. I assume most people have done it. I won't say each of you has done it, but odds are y'all have been there as well. Y'all had that moment or that time in your life where you were really apart from God, even though you knew him. And I don't think we've gotten to that part yet, but we're right here at the beginning, right? The when understanding of God and your faith and his love really is starting to hit you in a good way, and you are on cloud nine. Yex says that balance of all is vanity and knowing God as a friend, I think that's where wisdom eventually takes you. If it gets me halfway there, what a gift. All right, to Yex, Thad, Jenny, Veritax, Nico. I think that's the crew tonight. Again, thank you guys for joining. Yes, believe. I love that. Yes, believe. Thank you guys. Thank you, number one, for enduring me reading through this. And I'm saying that because of me, my performance in doing this, and my ability to parse it out. I am super thankful for you, Yex, in giving your perspective on this, because it is much deeper, and I think better put into words than anything I do, or than anything I've done. So, and same thing, Veritax kind of breaking stuff down as well. Y'all have been very helpful in that standpoint. Your patience as we go through this. And again, I won't be streaming tomorrow, probably streaming Wednesday, probably not Thursday, probably not next week, but hopefully we can hit another good stride. Finish this out. And then Isaiah right around the corner, which I am really looking forward to. Really looking forward to, and really looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say about it. So thank you to the folks who are in the chat. I love it. I love you guys. I love that y'all are here, and I really just want you to know I appreciate it. Even after I take a couple nights off, like you guys said, and I'll be off this time. And I know that's going to hit views, but knowing that you guys are going to come back and going to give me even just stopping by to say hello and just let me know that y'all are listening. I appreciate that greatly. To everybody who's not in the chat, to those guys who just listening and either you don't want to or you can't be part of the chat, just know that I encourage you to do so. I want to hear from you. And I want to hear stuff like what Yex has said tonight. I want to hear how it hits you, because I'm not good at this part. I'm not good at this stuff. But the goal, the mission is read through all of the Bible. Okay. And so we're not skipping this just because I'm not good at reading it or parsing it down. You guys are going to have to carry me through this. But if you're just listening, look, I'm just glad that I'm here and I've got this. I've got your attention, and it's good enough that you keep coming back. To everybody who's catching me on replay, thank you for watching. I'm sorry I missed you, but I hope to catch you live sometime soon. Everybody have a very good night, and God bless.